Governments are always on the side of business, and they do not want businesses to have to protect their workers from disgusting, filthy, germ-ridden air that they are causing by forcing everyone to work indoors instead of outdoors like we evolved. We evolved with our immune systems in our guts to protect us from surface germs for a reason, because our immune systems were not needed in our respiratory system. So why are we so obsessed in the West with washing our hands but doing absolutely nothing to clean the air? It's backwards. Our immune systems are much better in our guts, and when we get things in the air, it's all respiratory viruses. Mostly it's respiratory viruses that cause ME, that our immune systems have this weird reaction to. We're not good at clearing respiratory viruses because we evolved as nomadic people who lived mostly outdoors, not in these crowded places with millions and billions of people in the world all traveling around the world and spreading their diseases in crowded places, all indoors. We were nomadic people who lived in caves or just outdoors, and we didn't breathe all this disgusting germ-ridden air. We didn't breathe each other's halitosis and mucus and phlegmy air in this intimate way, which we're somehow in the West okay with. We don't want to touch a surface on a train that other people have touched. You see people get all funny about, I don't like the idea of touching where so many other hands have been. Like, why do you not care about the disgusting air you're breathing in that hundreds of other people have breathed into their disgusting, phlegmy, fluidy lungs and out again through their halitosis breath, and you're okay with that? It doesn't make any sense. But that's just it's very deliberate that that's not talked about, it seems, and it doesn't get any funding. The same way adenovirus 36, the long-term effects of that are obesity. It makes you fat. It makes animals fat. It makes humans fat. It's well established and proven. Several other viruses, adenovirus 5 and 37, also not as much research, but a lot of suggesting they also make you fat. And these can be prevented by wearing masks and having HEPA filters. And if we had HEPA filters everywhere, really good ones, and research into the best ways to keep the air clean, there would be far less ME, which is the microclotting disease, and a ton less autoimmune diseases and cancers, because so many of them get triggered by viruses. And it's not like a secret. It's not a secret that viruses cause cancer and cause autoimmune diseases. That is not a secret. It's just never talked about in campaigns of, here's how you do healthy living, kids, at schools and on TV. You never see a campaign saying, here are the most important things for your health. Don't catch viruses in the air. Do everything you can to not catch a virus, like demand a HEPA filter in your school or workplace. That will help prevent you developing an autoimmune disease, because they are very often triggered by a viral infection. They don't say that. They don't say, here's how to prevent obesity. Food's the most important, but also wear a mask if you are in a place where they're selfishly inviting the public in or forcing you to work there or study there and not bothering to clean the air and just forcing everyone to breathe on each other and give each other viruses that will likely trigger autoimmune diseases and cancers years later. So many viruses, especially Epstein-Barr, causes cancer, but we do nothing about that. There is no education on people of how to protect themselves from cancers, obesity, adenovirus 36 specifically, very strong evidence it causes obesity, or certainly overweightness. It absolutely causes you to gain enough fat to go from thin to overweight. Absolutely it does. Very quickly. And it's so much evidence for that they don't want you to educate yourself on that, because they don't want businesses to have to install HEPA filters and to send people home who are coughing, even though it's destroying the global economy at this point because of COVID being so much worse than all the other viruses, even worse than Epstein-Barr potentially. I think in the long term we're going to find it's even worse than Epstein-Barr in terms of the number of cancers it's going to cause later on, which you don't find out about for 20 years. Epstein-Barr infections give you cancer 20, 30, 40 years later, but they know it's 100% the virus. They find the virus in the tumor, in these viruses that are specifically unique to Epstein-Barr virus. And COVID has so many signs, markers, and so many unique features that are unique to cancer-causing viruses. They call them oncoviruses, meaning cancer-causing viruses. Obesogenic viruses, meaning obesity-causing viruses. Why have you never heard these terms? Because it's not the governments in the West and most of the East, it's only really a few countries in the East even that care about it, would rather be short-sighted. They would rather be very short-sighted and just think, I want the businesses right now to profit and not have to spend any money. I don't care that it's going to destroy the economy in the future. Everyone being so disabled and the brain fog it causes, even if you don't have long COVID. And if you do, it causes such devastation because of the chronic oxygen deprivation of these microclots stopping the oxygen transfer from your blood to your cells. They don't want people knowing it because they don't want people demanding HEPA filters or saying, okay, I'm not going to put myself at risk of relapse from COVID. They don't even bother warning people like me who've had horrible long COVID that ruined our careers and lost us our careers because we're now, in my case, I'm just not even intelligent enough. Even though I'm physically better, I'm not intelligent enough anymore. I don't have the cognitive ability I had when I worked in IT. And there are so many people like that who would never go back to their careers again. You know, pilots are obviously affected. You see that all around you. Air traffic control, surgeons, more mistakes and more accidents, and everyone's complaining about lack of productivity and staff absences all the time. COVID is destroying people's health. And now it's our chance, finally, now we've got social media and all this stuff is converging. We need to speak up and spread the word and say, hey guys, they are playing down long COVID the same way they play down adenovirus 36 causing cancer, the same way they play down Epstein-Barr virus causing goddamn everything. Like literally thousands of diseases known to be triggered by that thing. Yeah, guys, please look into this.